Welcome to the bottom line. Well, Democrats are getting greedy, and it may just cost them the whole kit and caboodle. T-minus 8 days until Congress needs to come to a consensus on DHS funding, with cash flow set to lapse next Friday, the 13th.
So naturally, the Democrats think now is the perfect time to start playing games. Leaders Chuck Schumer and Hakeem Jeffries releasing their list of demands for ICE reforms. There's 10. Last week, there were only 3. The list includes this: targeted enforcement, so AKA no arrest without a judicial warrant, no masks, and a requirement for ICE agents to wear identification, so doxing threats be damned. Prohibit enforcement near places like schools, churches, and hospitals. Require state and local oversight, not cooperation. Long live sanctuary cities. Body cameras for accountability of the agents, but not tracking illegals. And the list goes on and on like that.
When you really dig into this list, it's more like 24 demands. And many of them, like judicial warrants, are not only duds for Republicans, but also for the White House.
I know Senator Schumer and Leader Jeffries sent over a very long list of demands, some of which the administration is willing to discuss. Others don't seem like they are grounded in any common sense, and they are non-starters for this administration.
The shutdown king is pretending he's being rational. This is what we call gaslighting. Like a toxic ex, he's crazy. Or he's not crazy, you're crazy.
Our demands are not crazy demands. If Republicans don't like our proposals, pouting is not going to make the chaos in the streets go away. The Republicans need to explain why to the American people.
Senate Majority Leader John Thune is warning Schumer and co. not to overplay their hands, or they risk getting nada.
The onus is on Democrats to negotiate in good faith and reach an agreement quickly. Notice I said negotiate, Mr. President. This is not a blank check situation where Republicans just to agree to a list of Democrat demands. They're likely to end up with nothing, which is fine if Democrats just want a political issue. For some reason, the Department of Homeland Security ends up in a shutdown. It is going to be totally on them.
Joining us now is Arizona Congressman Andy Biggs. He's also running for governor in Arizona. Congressman, great to see you, sir. So we went through those lists of demands for the audience, including things like banning face masks and requiring a visible ID. Have Republicans put ICE agents at risk by dealing with the DHS funding separately?
I hope not. So here's the way to think of it. You have ICE funding that's continuing because of the big, beautiful bill. Then you have the TSA, you've got FEMA, you've got Coast Guard. That's really what the Democrats are using as leverage to basically give you de facto elimination of ICE. So ICE is going to keep getting funded. It's these other areas that you need. I mean, think of the snowstorms and think where FEMA has a role. Think of Coast Guard where it has a role. And you say, well, what are you trying to do? Well, they're trying to actually say that you can't, if you have a reasonable suspicion, for instance, that someone's in the country illegally, which the statute specifically says you need to arrest them, they want to say, well, you can't arrest them. So that would make you very different than every other law enforcement who has a reasonable suspicion that you're committing a crime. They would stop you and investigate and arrest you. They don't want that. And so they want to just emasculate DHS for when I say DHS, I mean ICE. They want to emasculate ICE at the expense of the other agencies in ICE, in DHS.
They want to blow away the supremacy clause, okay? They want to put ICE agents at risk, no mask. You got to put your ID right out there. I mean, these agitators, protesters, are literally doxing and tracking these guys and following them. So, look, I mean, I don't know, maybe some of these Republicans could agree to. You've already funded body cameras, right? So maybe that's fine. Right. But so are Democrats going to give on some of these in the 11th hour? Are they going to give on the most radical of these, do you think? Or are they just hell bent on shutdown at this point?
I think that they're hell bent on shutdown, Brian. I think that their opinion is that they're going to win some kind of political war over this. And in my opinion, I think most people in America say, well, wait a second. These are the same people that have been calling these guys Gestapo and Nazis, and they foment and say, yeah, go out, and they encourage violence. Why would we be giving into what they want, which would facilitate putting our agents in more danger and putting the communities in more danger? It doesn't make sense to me.
You know, Congressman, we all know that leverage is the most important currency in these shutdown fights. So why did Republicans give the Democrats that leverage of dealing with the DHS funding separately?
Well, Lisa and Brian, I could talk all night about why I thought that was a bad idea. I still think it's a bad idea, but the bottom line is we are where we are. And so the Democrats think they have leverage. And I know that Republicans, some of our leaders have said they believe we've got leverage because last time the Dems caved on TSA. If you remember over the holidays that when the TSA, everybody started getting trouble with TSA, that's when they gave. And so I think they have leverage over that. My whole thing is maybe instead of doing this leverage, maybe what the Senate needs to do is just say, we're going to give you, just like Harry Reid did on nominations, what we're going to do is we're going to have a elimination of the filibuster or the cloture rule for national security funding, like FEMA, like Coast Guard, like TSA. And then you only need 51 votes, and we can get the rest of Department of Homeland Security funded for the rest of the year. That's what I would like to see happen, and I think that's what we should be saying. That's going to happen, Democrats, if you want to continue playing games with the safety of the American public and our officers.
Is that what Majority Leader Thune is saying? He's saying, look, negotiate, Democrats, or you're going to get nothing. To me, that sounds like what he's saying is this is going to be a good faith negotiation, or we're going to do something like you're saying. Maybe we're going to say, no zombie filibuster. You got to do a standing filibuster. So this looks to me inevitably like the end of some form of the filibuster in the Senate. Maybe not for everything. Maybe it's in a contained way, but that's a big deal, Congressman. I mean, that's a bridge that the Senate will cross that has not happened before.
That's right, but I think we're ripe for that. I think we need to do that. Our whole agenda is being thrown under by the Democrats, like the Save America, the voting, the Election Integrity Act. But this is similar. I mean, the fact that they want to come in and hold these sub-agencies, TSA and Coast Guard, for instance, and FEMA, hostage because they don't like ICE, to me, that's a bridge too far. And we just need to say, no more. We're not playing games with you anymore. Because we know what they're going to do, you guys. When they get the Senate again, they're going to blow up the filibuster. They've already tried it. They've promised to do it. And I think we need to be just as tough back.
Congressman Andy Biggs, lots to talk about today. Thanks for being with us.